just want to make a quick update about the theory of optimism. I feel really good about the theory of optimism. I feel like it's really starting to sharpen up this stuff about. I think maybe the best way to say it is that you want to be a gambler. Not that I really promote financial gambling, but it's kind of think about it like VC money, venture capital. What a venture capitalist does is they make 100 bets, and knowing that probably 90% of those bets are not going to pan out, and maybe only one or two of them really would be worth it, but usually one or two of them that are worth it are 1,000x worth it. And so it's like taking a very long view perspective. Essentially, you could use the phrase "it's a numbers game." I'm not sure if I like that terminology. I guess the picture that I'm trying to paint is that there's a difference between like sort of safe, air quotes, safe, long and steady sort of way of achieving success where you sort of approach it in a linear fashion. You put in a lot of time over, you usually trade time for money or time for success, and you never do anything that is risky. And it works out if you have a lot of time, and B, it works out if bad ever happens. But that's kind of the problem with it. That's like the main problem with it is that you can't really guarantee that nothing bad will ever happen in life. I think that like is kind of illusion, or at least like this is an illusion. Like you can't really have stasis in life. So any appearance of stasis and therefore safety at best. And so what ends up happening is that like you take this route of like term success linear over much time. What happens is you trade most of your time for your gains because you're usually like really small safe bets, which they're safe but also like require you to in order to get great success, be extremely consistent over a very long period of time. It only really works under those conditions. If anything, and it also requires you to be extremely vigilant, like the bad things that might happen. And I think honestly that's kind of just like an illusion that you can control the bad things, and so just kind of ends up being stressful, like creates chronic stress basically. Then like opposite sort of strategy is when you approach it in a high risk, high reward fashion. Instead of trading your time for money or success, you are trading information for success, and usually it has a lot of downstream benefits because exactly like venture capital, spend all of your time in research instead of trading your time for money like you would like your job. I think this is probably the most obvious parallel is like that between a venture capitalist but an entrepreneur and an employee. That an entrepreneur is doing something that is high risk, high reward. If they are doing it right, because I do think that there's wrong ways to do it. But if you're doing it right, you're doing it high risk, high reward. You're spending most of your time developing your own skills, learning things. You at the end of the day, you're trading your information for success and money, not your time. So you're spending a lot of your time in the research, learning things, but you don't have the same need to be consistent over a very long period of time because your success comes, usually it's a windfall and you get a lot of it all at once. So you also have like periods of relative movement. And so essentially, like, I don't think that like safe long-term strategy, I don't think it is actually safe, or at least like of it as safety is an illusion and should probably be avoided. Instead, I think like should all be trying to be like venture capitalists. We make a lot of bets, only the kind of bets that can have like next return. Then as long as those bets are within our means, one of them will reap rewards, and then we'll get like next boost, and then like we'll probably like our current like or social limitations or whatever, and be able to start that process over in like higher realm of life, which is not really something that is directly possible. Long view of success. I don't know. This is something I was thinking about. I think there are other downstream and benefits of this way of approaching life, and of just like that there is no safety, or at least like that there is in action, that there is no safety in so constantly be trying to grow that terminology. I don't really like this terminology, but I like to say that the best defense is offense, or best offense is defense. I think that is really true, and honestly it probably is a better conception to say that like it doesn't exist. Offense is the only thing that does exist. If you want to any kind of safety, it comes through better offense, not better defense. Although, like, analogies sort of like that it's a struggle or like a war. I'm not sure that it is a struggle or a war. By the context of a struggle, I think that is true. I also think that this applies to the way that you approach relationships and social life and basically everything. I don't know. I'm working out how to apply this to my other theories and also how to expand on this and flesh out like it should affect different perspectives and realms of life.